My next guest is going to be competing on Contender Series against TJ Laramie coming up here on August 11th. It is Daniel Swain joining me here on the program. Daniel, how are you?
Hey, dude, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. And late congratulations. I saw you became a dad again back on July 24th. How's the little one doing?
Oh, he's doing great. He's growing every day, getting used to being at home now with all the other kids. So it's always fun having a new little baby.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Big fight here, obviously, on Contender Series, and long overdue, man. You're a guy who, we were sort of talking off air that you've been on the regional scene for a while. It's good to see you get a fight like this. When did you actually find out about this matchup? Because I know for some Contender Series guys, they found out well in advance.
So I heard back in January that I would be on the Contender Series. They didn't give me an opponent or a date or anything like that. And then the COVID stuff hit, so I wasn't sure about anything after that. And then probably around May, late May, early June, I got told that I would be going in August now instead of July. And then probably middle June, I found out it was going to be TJ Laramie. So I've had a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I know part of the reason you got this opportunity as well is because I know you've been with Iridium Sports for a little bit now. How did that come together? Because I know you switched management. When did that take place?
That took place almost like a little over a year ago now, I think. A little less than a year. With the management I was at, I didn't feel like I was like anything was happening, and so I had reached out to Jason House and talked to him, and he was like, hey, if you're with another manager, don't hit me up, please. And so I got released from my other agent, and then I called him right away, and he was happy to sign me once I was a free agent. So signed with him, and since then it's just been waiting for the short notice UFC call. And then when we got the notice that we're going to be on the Contender Series, we were super excited.
And you mentioned the short notice UFC call. Were you ever put sort of on a list? I know some fighters get put on there in case something happens. Were you waiting for something like that just because, you knew about Contender Series, but it wasn't going to be till August? So I'm sure you wanted to stay ready just in case something came up.
Yeah, I didn't. I was not sure if I was going to get called. Jason would text me and be like, hey, are we ready to go next week if we need to be? Yeah, I'm ready to go. And then so I'd be on that list, and then things would happen. Someone else would get picked for the fight. But anytime, I probably got 4 or 5 of those messages like, hey, can you make weight next week? And I was like, yeah. And then I told him, like, 155 doesn't matter. Like, I'll do 155 too. If I'm not, I just need to show that I'm capable of being there. You know what I mean? I need my opportunity to show that I'm supposed to be on that stage, because I believed I was supposed to be on the stage for so many years now. And to finally get this opportunity with the Contender Series to fight in front of Dana and kind of be like, dude, you should have picked me up a long time ago. That's kind of an exciting opportunity for me too.
I know you're happy about the opportunity, but are you a bit surprised it's Contender Series? Because you got to have the most fights out of anyone on this show. You got 30 fights. That's just not something you see. There's guys that have like 4 fights that are getting on that show.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I wish I could have got one of those short notice fights and just got the opportunity to go right in the UFC. But my career's always kind of been this long route type of deal. So it only makes sense that I got to go through the Contender Series too. And it's going to make it that much sweeter when I go in there and I make a big statement and I get that contract.
And fighting Canadians is nothing new for you. I know you fought a lot on the Canadian regional scene as well. And I think, I'm not sure if most people know this watching this, but I know you went to Simon Fraser University, which is actually near where I live.
Yeah, man. I love Canada. If you like, I got a half a star, half a maple leaf tattooed on my arm right here, dude. I lived in Canada for 3 years. I love Canada. I lived in Vancouver, BC. I went to Simon Fraser University and Douglas College and wrestled for both of those programs. And then I started my professional MMA career in Canada. Like, that's where I first started training as a professional and had my pro debut was in Victoria, BC. So like my career started in Canada. I have huge ties to Canada. Some of my best friends live in Canada. So to fight a Canadian is kind of weird, but it's full circle. Like everything started in Canada, and then to get to a UFC opportunity and have to fight a Canadian, it sucks. I got to fight a Canadian because I like my Canadian brothers, but it is what it is, man. I'm gonna have to make a statement with TJ. He's from the East Coast, so I never met him or trained with him, so I'm not that worried about it.
Well, I was going to ask you because he did do some training in BC for this camp. I think he was going on vacation, and then he said, you know what, I'll get some training in. Did you have anybody reach out to you being like, hey, came by the gym, we're going to stay out of this, or anything like that?
Nope, it is what everybody trains with everybody. When I was down in Las Vegas for filming, I popped out and trained at Extreme Couture. I mean, that's where he does his camp, is at Extreme Couture.
Right, okay.
So I went in there and trained at his gym while I was in town. So it is what it is, man. I'm sure there were guys there who went against me and were like, hey, he was doing this, this, and this. But when it comes down to a fight, like I've been in 30 of these. There's nothing that's going to surprise me anymore. So like he could know a little technique that's coming. That's cool. I have adjustments. So does he. You know what I mean? He's got 14 fights as well. So, it's not like he doesn't have a bunch of experience, but he's still pretty young and he doesn't have quite the experience I have.
This feels like a UFC level fight just in terms of, both of your experiences. I mean, he doesn't have as many fights as you, but he has fought guys that are in the UFC now, which is kind of interesting. How do you look at this fight from a style perspective?
Style perspective, he's tough. He's got some big power in his hands and he likes to come forward. He's got some wrestling. No wrestling that I'm worried about. He looks like an okay high school wrestler, but like I've won nationals at a college level, so his wrestling isn't anything that I'm worried about. His jiu-jitsu, I don't think he's at my level on the ground either. So, that's where I see my key to victory is on the ground and looking for submissions. But at the same time, I don't think he's ever seen what I can do with my hands either, because I don't normally go there. I normally take people. So if it goes to that where we're staying on the feet, I think he's going to be in for a surprise there as well.
Who have been some of the people that have been helping you get ready for this fight? Coaches, training partners, everything else?
I got Pablo Afonso as my head coach. He's been running everything in camp. And then I got Vincent Peak. He's my strength and conditioning guy, and he's like a wizard getting me ready, training the body up, making sure it's strong and powerful. This is the best I've felt going into a fight with injuries-wise. So I love having him on board. And then I have Joel Thomas. He's the owner or former owner of Warrior Camp. He's been a head coach for a while. He's kind of stepped down into like the assistant coach portion, but still staying strong with mid sessions with me. And then my training partners like Richie Whitson, Josh Reddinghouse, one of my college wrestling buddies, Jake Lindell, has been in there all the time for me. So I've had a good stable of guys. We keep it pretty small numbers because of the COVID stuff, but we got a pretty good stable of guys that are getting me ready. And
how's the weight cut going ahead of this fight?
Great, man. My weight's right on point. I'm not having any issues.
Yeah, you're a vet. So, I have to ask anyways, obviously, because I know it's been a bit since you last fought. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
I'm going to have Joel Thomas and Pablo Afonso in my corner.
And how's the fight playing out on the 11th? You feel like you're going to get your hand raised, but how do you see it unfolding?
Look, man, I have 17 finishes out of my 20 wins. Like, that's what I do. I finish guys. I do not like to go to decision. I hate it. Every time I've ever gone to decision, win or lose afterwards, there's just that weird feeling in my stomach. Like, you really couldn't, like, we just couldn't get out. Like, we couldn't finish this. How did this happen? So, I don't like the decision. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to look for a finish. And, it could happen anyway. I really feel like if he tries to stand with me and trade, I think he's going to be in for some surprises. And then I think I could see him taking a bad shot when he gets surprised by how good my hands are and then getting caught in a sub pretty quick. That's what I see happening.
What would it mean to you after 30 career fights and everything you've gone through in your career? Because I know you had some injuries as well. I remember when you fought for M1, you had that year off. What would it mean to get that contract, man? Because I know it's been a long road, like you said.
Yeah, dude, it's been the longest road. So it would just be like, it's worth it. Like, I've been trying for this goal for over 10 years now. Like, I just had my 10-year anniversary of my very first fight at the end of July. So it's just like, there were lots of times where I was like, man, should I keep doing this? Like, why am I still doing this? And to finally be at a point where it's going to pay off, I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get in there and just have the performance I know I can have, and go do my thing and get that contract. There's no doubt in my mind I'm going to walk away with that contract.
Okay, most important question in this interview, because I'm from Vancouver, obviously. Are you a Canucks fan? Did you enjoy hockey? Did you watch hockey at all when you were here?
Yes, I did. I was actually, my buddy Jake Lindell, and Micah Brakefield. We were down in downtown Vancouver when the Canucks lost in the Stanley
riots.
Cup
Oh
Finals.
no, that's not a very good experience.
We were down there at the riots, dude. It started. We were like, we got to get out of here pretty quick because it got pretty crazy real fast.
Oh, it totally did.
So,
yeah.
But I was I was definitely a Canucks fan. I'm happy to see hockey's going again, and I'm excited to see if they can make a run.
And I'm excited to watch this fight, man. This is such an awesome fight. It's coming up here August 11th, Contender Series. You guys don't want to miss it. Daniel, finally glad we got to do an interview. This is like 3 or 4 years in the making. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, man. I got to say thank you to Iridium Sports Agency, Jason House. They're the best. They've given me this opportunity to show what I can do. Garden of Life, they've helped me out with this camp with supplements and stuff like that, so I got to shout them out as well. And then big shout out to Warrior Camp MMA, my training camp, Paulo Alfonso, Rose Alfonso. They've been making sure that I'm comfortable, have everything I need in camp, making sure, I'm getting all the supplements I need. So all that's been great. And then my training partners, man, without them, I can't do this. So with big ups to them.